Good morning. This is Patrick Collins again, and it is Wednesday morning. It's right about noon, 11:58 a.m. in Huntington Beach, California, on August 18th in the year of our Lord 2021. And this video is going to be about something I learned from Stephen Bannon in the War Room Forum, which is one of my favorite news station, Real America's Voice. I've dropped Fox News, so everybody knows. One American News Network is a great station that I don't get on this spectrum that I have right here in California, and I've almost cut the cord completely in California. Anyway, what I learned was called the buried lead, and that's going to be the title of this video, the buried lead. So after the Mike Lindell Symposium, I want to address the buried lead, and I have to admit I may get emotional because this is one of the most heartbreaking facts that we've been taught this year. And that is our vote never really mattered. The mathematicians, Dr. Shiva, Bobby Piton, Edward Solomon, Lady Draza, Dr. Frank, Jovan Pulitzer, Chris Kovacs, and others, all have agreed with this. It's a preset number. Lady Draza compares it in her algorithms, in her explanation of the algorithms. She uses the term of a car that's has automatic driving. The acceleration. We're going to set it at 55 miles an hour, but you're only going 35 miles an hour. Well, who set it at 55 miles an hour? That's the analogy. Trump was going to lose 50 to 49. 51 to 49. Wait a minute. Who is setting that? But the sad part is that it's a preset notion. So go look at Lady Draza's work. Go look at Edward Solomon's book. Edward Solomon wrote a letter to a judge in a lawsuit that Dominion filed saying, you can't sue these people without suing me. They're using my words. And he gave the judge all his math. Now, Edward's math is geometry in nature, which is different than Lady Draza's, which is different than Dr. Frank's, which is different than Dr. Shiva's. So all these different mathematicians and that are geniuses have come together to the same conclusion, and I am asking them to pen a letter to go out to every desk, every news desk, every newspaper. And this is the buried lead that it needs to get out. Our vote never mattered. We're being used. And, we're all under this illusion. Why are they fighting to not have Mike Lindell share truth? Because their lie is going to be exposed. What is the big lie? It's the big lie. The big lie is that elections matter. The big lie is that your vote matters. They're using your vote to manipulate the outcome that they want. That's disgusting. Our forefathers are turning in their graves if we, the people, don't fight. That's what we have to do. This is up to us. Mike Lindell is a warrior and a patriot, and he's being attacked for being, they say he lied because he didn't release all the intelligence information that he has. Well, maybe it was a really good guy that stopped Mike from sharing it because it might have been breaking the law if he shared it. Now, that doesn't mean Mike has it illegally. Mike might have it legally if he got it from the proper Trump people at the time. Remember, Trump was president of the United States at the time. He's free to release intelligence. But sharing it could be problematic. And I just ask people to, just wait for facts. You don't have all the facts. I'm telling you, with all the news and information in the world, you never are in possession of more than 10% of what's really known. The general public will say. Mike Lindell is getting more information into his head right now, and it's hard for him to spit it out properly. Excuse the term "spit it out," but you know, it's difficult. You're just getting so much information, and you want to tell a story. It's very hard. So let's have patience with Michael because he's doing the best he can. And he reminds me of my dad. My dad spoke Pat. If you didn't know him, he was an iconic guy. He retired in Mexico and didn't speak Spanish, but they all understood him. Well, how did you understand? He spoke Pat. That's what they said. So it's hard. It's hard sometimes to listen to him, but it's be patient, like you're listening to your father or your grandfather. Now, I just, again, I want you to grasp that thought and talk to your election officials, talk to your registrars, talk to your county clerks, to peek under the hood because I think it's being manipulated. And everybody wants to say Dominion, 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 and it is Dominion, don't get me wrong. But it's the software company too, not the hardware company. There's hardware and software, I understand that. And it could be it could be ES&S, and it could be Dominion, and it could be any kind of company on the outside, but inside it's what that matters. That's why the routers matter. What happens is that, and why we think it's China, is look at who owns Dominion. United Bank of Switzerland, UBS. I remember when UBS came to the United States, Swiss Bank. Remember there was a big problem in banking where we were finding out stuff and these bad guys, and there was Swiss bank accounts, and we couldn't get to them. And we finally fought in world court that, hey, listen, if you're harboring a criminal, you have to give us the information. That opened up UBS to come to the United States. UBS was located in Stamford, Connecticut. When I lived in Riverside, Connecticut, they were a customer of mine on the New York Stock Exchange. They got bought out by China. So China owns UBS. UBS owns Dominion. Let me tell you something about UBS. If you get to the UBS, like the real owners of the UBS, not the Chinese people, China owns it on paper, but believe me, the Bank of Switzerland is where we want to take these subpoenas, in my opinion. They'll settle. Banks don't want to go to court. They want to go to arbitration. So I'm suggesting somebody sue UBS, bring UBS into this lawsuit and join them because they own Dominion, and you might get a quicker dilemma. But to go back to how China is doing this, they set this preset. But who's in bed with China? George Soros has definitely got his finger in this. And he's got people like Bill Gates and Zuckerberg, people with a lot of money. Do you know Mark Zuckerberg spent more money on the election than the whole U.S. government in 2020? That's an incredible statistic. It's an incredible amount of money, and that shows you how dirty this is. But understand that. We have to go Amish. We have to go paper. We have to get special paper. We have to get special paper to keep track. You can't be printing ballots at home. That's crazy. I'll print 50 ballots to sign different names. That could be, and this is how they're creating phantom ballots. So let's review the phantom votes and how they're doing this. They're cutting deals, and they have the DMV fill the registration rolls. They add people to the registration rolls, and that's the key. All right, now you have all these phantom voters. So the phantom voters vote, okay, and then on election night, they see who didn't vote. They put the phantom votes into those who didn't vote. That's the perfect crime. Okay, now that person who did vote, and they delete the phantom voters. That's what I believe is how this scam is occurring. So think about that perfect crime. That perfect crime. Who in who has ever, and I'll bet you 300 million people in America, or whatever, no one has called the county register and said, I didn't vote. Can you make sure that I didn't vote? Nobody's ever done that. It's the perfect crime. It's identity theft. And some brave district attorney is going to take this case and run with it. It's identity theft. And it can be proven one way, canvassing. You actually have to find those people that didn't vote, and they have to admit it, and you'll have a perfect evidence. And it's there. We're finding it in Arizona, Maricopa. We're going to find it. We found it in Montgomery County in Pennsylvania. It's occurring all over. Okay. This is how they gamed the system, and it is heartbreaking that our votes never really mattered, because they're just using our votes to manipulate news, to manipulate a story, to manipulate a result. So I'm going to ask you to pray and get active. We have to convince audits in all 50 states. But remember, we only need one county in every state. If you do it in one county, if you do a forensic audit in one county, and I can figure out the percentage of the 18-year-olds that votes, the percentage of 65-year-olds that votes, and everybody in between up to 100, hey, then you can prove it. Well, look at that same number is in every county in the state. We know they know we have that. That's why they're going around trying to delete as much information as they can, which is a crime, which is another thing that prosecutors can charge if they're deleting information that is not 22 months old. They have to retain those records for 22 months. In Colorado, they have them caught nailed, deleting information that was supposed to be retained. Tina is one brave young girl. I'm sorry to put it in those terms. She is one brave patriot. She's in safe hiding, thank God, and she has the before and after pictures. They have Dominion nailed. That's not being told enough, properly. This is getting worse and worse for Dominion, yet everybody's attacking Mike and thinking, oh, Mike's a liar. Mike said, you're missing the stories. You're missing the manipulation. You're missing the lead. What did we say? What did I say? The lead. The missing lead is your vote never mattered. Till next time.